Hey there, comic friends and fiends. Welcome to Sidekicks Talk Comics. I'm the host with the vid.
And I'm the co-host with the crud.
Yeah, so
The vid and the crud.
it's ironic. We're both not feeling well. I actually have the vid, and but we're still here because, damn it, you guys demand Sidekicks Talk Comics. So we're here for you because what else is there to do?
Nice countdown, by the way, Rob.
I had nothing to do with that. That is all Chip Getler. The other day, last week, we were Eddie, myself, and Taylor were hanging out on Cranky Comic Chat Sundays at 6:30 Pacific, whatever 8:30 Central, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were hanging out and we were watching the annoying 30-second countdown and thought, my God, this is annoying. Let's be honest. Taylor said, my God, this is annoying. And we should have something better. Then at some point, Chip came in and we half jokingly said, hey, Chip, you need to build us a better countdown timer. And next thing you know, before the show was over, he was sending us a file with a new countdown, 10-second countdown timer with the comics. And we're like, oh, sweet. So I wish he had put his name on there so he could get the attribution. But whenever somebody says it, we will definitely make sure to mention that is a Chip Getler original.
White Shadow.
That's right. Mr. Les Crucius, hello, how are you? DJ Lynx, the Lynx Squad, Comic Book Mafia. That's the Don, sorry. Coming soon. Chop and Drop, how are you doing? We hope it's going to be another awesome show. Like I said, we're both sick, and as you can hear, every time I try and talk, I'm practically fighting back coughing fits. So make sure you keep your social distance there, and don't get any of my spittle on your guys' monitor, so you don't get the vid.
I'm getting away from you. Then are we about 6 feet? You think?
At least. I think Northern Oregon is more than 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Flo Dameron, Adrian Panda, awesome. How we doing? William Santana, Chubby Pop Chaser.
How did I get here?
Why do I always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's like some kind of torture to have to watch the show. James Willie, the king of winning all my winnings.
Winning all your winnings.
All the prizes on Slab Hub.
Gotcha.
Super Jesse, good to see you. So
Hi, honey.
Some guy slotted up. Don't need to talk
That
about
jerk.
him.
He's a jerk.
Yeah, my God, there's a lot of comments. I'm trying to keep up. All right, let me try to go fast here. What is this? I want to whatever. Sorry, I got somebody flashing me messages about. Unfortunately, they're not flashing me. They're just flashing me messages about dinner options. It'd be a much more distracted show. Dicker Jim, how you doing? Let's see. I think we got James. I got Shop for Comics. My man Shop.
What's up, Shop?
Let's see. James Shop. Okay. William. All right. I think. Oh, Beth. There's Beth. All right. I think we've hit everybody. Let's get in. Today, we're going to be talking about a movie called The
Suicide Squad.
Not to be confused with the movie Suicide Squad. Very different. Okay, Titus, how you doing? Welcome.
Hello from Japan.
So with this movie, we will probably discuss spoilers. So
yes,
it's been 2+ weeks since the movie's come out. So if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to potentially get exposed, not just to me, but to spoilers, then now you should turn back. Hit the e-brake, spin it hard, crank the wheel hard, get on out.
Or just mute it for entertainment purposes, and you can just see us going like this. And
there you go. Get some friends in the room and have them stand behind your monitor. Just have other voice dubbing over what we're talking about. Who knows? We could be doing a Spanish novella. All right. So first impressions. Overall, Slot.
My first impression, I'm not gonna lie, when I first watched it, I was really pumped because I was, I couldn't wait to see it. James Gunn, and first, he did great things with Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was waiting for him to do like make Suicide Squad feel like that. It was entertaining, and I like it, but I couldn't watch it a second time. Like I tried watching it a second time, and I couldn't make it through a second time. So maybe it didn't. It was good the first time, but it didn't hold my attention well enough to make it through the second time. So
Yeah, you know
maybe
what? Yeah. So you got it like okay, one. There's a lot of movies out there like that. You can watch it one time, and that's all you need on it. And after that, it's not doesn't necessarily have the rewatch factor, right? Okay,
yeah,
James is telling me now he's the winner of winnings. Got it. Got it. It's good to know. Um, I agree 100%. I thought it was. I'll tell you what and I feel it's like I'm watching all these a lot of you guys in the chat, even in various other chats and whatnot, talk about how much you guys loved the movie, and I keep going, what movie did I watch? Did I watch a different movie than everyone else? Because I'm just not. I didn't see it. Now, was it entertaining? Sure. Were there
yeah,
jokes that were funny? Yes. But I feel that
and
I felt that people were comparing it to the other Suicide Squad movie and other DC recent entries rather than comparing it to a good movie. And I found it hilarious that the build up marketing to a movie is in the DC movie was all about how the director and all his successes on another brand of IP. It was like, oh, he did Guardians of the Galaxy and he did this and he did, it was
yep,
like, okay, but what about this movie? Um, and I felt that when we talked about the joke, you said that like a hand and all these other things. I felt it was like let us the movie. While it had a plot, what it lacked was getting me to care about any of the characters. When
I
you
cared about one, and it wasn't. It probably wasn't any of the ones that you thought I cared about. I liked the what was her name, Rat Hunter 2 or
Ratcatcher
Rat
too,
Catcher 2. She
yeah,
because there was a little backstory there. You know what I mean? There was a little character building there. Everyone else was just thrown in and said, "Here they are."
right, and it was what you understand. I understand that their motive is just to get years knocked off of their sentence, but it was just like you left us where we can't really have when our whole character development is really focused on Bloodsport really at this point, in that
Mm-hmm.
him being an asshole at the
A
beginning to his own
leader.
daughter, and at the end he acts sort of like a taking care of his team and his squad and everything else. I mean, that's who we're I didn't care about Bloodsport, to be honest. And so if
Will
that's the
Smith was far better as the lead role.
yeah, I mean, if that was the character that I was supposed to attach to, that was supposed to be my my Chris Pratt character for this movie. If we want to continue the comparison to Guardians of the Galaxies, I didn't care.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, like I said, I mean Harley Quinn. We already know about Harley Quinn. King Shark. He's a shark. You know what is there to really know? Um,
He's the Groot.
Everybody else.
I'm going to say 2 to 3 words. I can bring the power and be funny when I do it because I'm not going to say things articulately.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, most of the character building there was no character building whatsoever for most of them. I mean, Amanda Waller, there was more character building for her throughout that than there was in yeah. Amanda Waller she's brutal. She's probably one of the best parts about that show, but
You could argue that she's the villain of the movie,
absolutely.
right? As far as that concept of like, here you go, when you that first assault, you know, as we get introduced to this group, here we go, we're going to assault. Oh, and gee, look at that, everybody's dead, and then she just doesn't seem to care until later on. But if that group's purpose was to be this feint to get the second group on, and Rick Flag was her man, why was Rick Flag with that group?
Right? I was wondering the same thing. Why wasn't he with the main group? Because
Right.
everybody, I mean, Harley was there too, but I mean, I guess then they couldn't get captured, right? If they were with the main group, then you couldn't make the story work where they get
The
captured.
power of the script.
Exactly.
Right.
The
And
script is why they weren't in that group. Had nothing to do with, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, I understood these guys, okay, fighter, this, that, or anything. And what was Savant? I mean, I don't follow these guys. I mean, obviously he's a brain, but what was his purpose on that team other than to get Roker into the movie?
And they did him wrong because I can't think of the actor's name now, but he's Merle from Walking Dead, and he is Yondir or whatever from or whatever, however you pronounce his name, and he plays a great character in both those other shows, and then he comes in here, and I'm expecting, yeah, I was very disappointed that he went out the way he did.
Let's see, Polka Dot Guy was messed up. Yeah, well, I mean that character was interesting, and was really actually to me was probably one of the more interesting characters, simply in the standpoint of you're introduced to him. He's the only one with a power inhibitor on in the place, but he seems so meek, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you realize that dude is the heavy hitter on the team in reality. So I mean that was really kind of
There was a little character building with him too. The whole my mom was mean to me and tried to make me a superhero. Now I hate her and I think everyone looks like my mom.
I think every single one of them characters had. There was some attempt at something, but it never.
Didn't make you feel for him much. It didn't give you any attachment.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, and understand half the characters were going to be dead, so why bother to build up a lot of backstory on make you feel for half the characters if within 5 minutes they're going to be dead?
Yeah.
Which I'll tell you that once that first beach scene is dead, the first thing that sprung into my mind was, oh, okay, so James Gunn has decided to show us what a trauma film will look like if he had a budget. Because we blew up so many heads and whatnot.
Right.
And that used to be like the trauma bread and butter was to replace a head with a melon and blow it up. and so instead we did it with some better graphics and whatnot.
Oh yeah, the special effects were out of control. Like where Boomerang throws his boomerang and cuts those guys, one dude's head off, and the other guy's head like in half.
Yeah, it was gore for the sake of gore, which is his trauma roots.
Yes,
and that's fine because obviously he has Kaufman shows up later on in the movie in the bar. Andrew, I think it is. This is Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman, yeah.
But I don't know. What's interesting to me throughout this whole time, we're kind of like being a little ambivalent to this movie, and I know that some of these guys were much more interested here in this movie, and I'm not seeing anybody tell us how wrong we are. Maybe.
Well, DJ just popped in. What up, DJ? And what up there, Tyler? You guys probably love this movie.
Oh, I'll tell you, Digger. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there weren't funny scenes. As a matter of fact,
it almost seemed there was some campy stuff.
It almost felt like at times the plot was there to move us from one joke to the next joke, and that's fine to have jokes in this type of a movie. Why not have a lot of humor? It's a comic book movie. That's what's made Marvel great, is that they had, in my opinion, is that they've put a fair amount of humor into the property, understanding what it is and how obscene some of these characters are and everything else. So yeah, where there are things like when they're walking through the camp, blowing up all the campers, and then he's like, people don't show off.
The exploding bullet.
Yeah. Oh, it does if it's cool. He goes, yeah, fuck, he's right.
He's right.
Yeah. some of that stuff is
What it
good.
did have, what I will give it a credit for, there was a soundtrack, just like James Gunn did in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like the whole opening scene with Folsom County Prison, that was great.
That's the only
And
song I
then
remember.
the I ain't got no that was great when Harley Quinn was just murking people.
Yeah, I again, it's like I walk away from it where it's like I don't hate the movie. Don't want anybody to think that I hate it. But like Slot, I mean, I tried watching it 2 more times since I watched it the initial time, and I fell asleep during it. It just didn't. I was forcing myself to sit and watch it because it's like, okay, I've seen it. I know what it happens now. I don't care enough to watch it again.
Yeah. Like I got through part of it and I go, I already know what's going to happen, so I don't really want to watch it again. And this is the honest to God's truth. I don't know how many people out there as old as we are, Rob, and remember this show I'm about to say, but I stopped watching The Suicide Squad and went back to watching season 1 of Silver Spoons.
Wow, there you go. That Silver's little Ricky Schroeder, who actually
Ricky Schroeder, huh?
Who actually will advocate for you going off into other states and shooting people. Sorry, don't mean to bring politics into our comic book show, but how can you not? Yeah, no. All right, I got nothing else to talk about this movie, to be honest with you. I don't know you, Slot. I mean, it's like
it was Gary B. I'm sure loved it because I mean, like I said, Ratcatcher 1 was I thought the hero of the show. The whole Starro thing. If we're talking, what is it? Continuity, right? Wasn't Starro like the very first appearance of the Justice League? So that was like a long ass time ago. So.
But I don't care about continuity when we're talking about different universes here, right?
That's true. But
so if we start to get ourselves into the comic boy fandom of saying I didn't like it because it didn't follow what happened in the comic book, then we're never going to like any comic book movie. So I actually like a property like Suicide Squad like this where I don't know about it because I'm not a guy who I know of the Suicide Squad. But I do not read the comic.
yeah.
So I come into it much like we did with Guardians of the Galaxy, where I didn't read it. I knew of them, but that's about it. So they can tweak any character they want. Doesn't phase me one iota.
Exactly. I have no clue.
I've got no right. I've got nothing in that fight. But
Starro he was supposed to look silly. I mean, he did it. Starro was perfect. He probably wasn't the best villain for them to fight, but for what he was in the movie, they did a good job of making him and portraying him. Yeah, especially when the rats came and he was like, this is my town or my city. And she's like, no, this is their city and they're going to take it back. That was the best scene in the whole movie. That's probably the one scene I might watch a few more times.
Hey, man, I really love, don't get me wrong. I actually did like the setup multiple times for King Shark of Nom Noms, just so we could get to the point of Monster is Nom Nom. Monster Nom Nom? That will make me chuckle, as there are many times it will make me chuckle.
And they couldn't have got a better voice actor for King Shark than Sylvester Stallone. He nails those words like hand.
I don't know. I think maybe you could have had, if you had to. I mean, somebody with the acting chops of good old Vin Diesel probably could have handled it too. But
it was entertaining. It was a one watch entertaining movie. I didn't hate it. I don't have a ton of negative things to say about it.
Yeah, on a 5 stars. Go ahead.
I couldn't go on like Justice League by Snyder, right? That was. They're not even in the same ballpark. One's like we're minor leagues, and one
we're beating a dead starfish right now. So 5 stars on a scale of 5 stars. Where are you putting this one?
I'll give it 3.5.
Okay. I think I'm giving it 2.5. Just solid, right in the middle. Just like it's it's okay, and I'm not tore up about it. I'm not gonna begrudge anybody who tells me that they like it. But if you tell me that it's a great film, you better come ready to defend that position. You can like something and it doesn't have to be a great film. Certain movies appeal to you. Look, I like Yoga Hosers. It's a crap film. I will be the first person to admit that. It's pure drivel, but I like it. And I can't
Same with
explain.
Howard the Duck.
Right.
Horrible movie,
And
but I love it.
right. You don't have to defend the fact that you personally like something and if you can recognize it. But I'm not saying it's a great movie, right? And that's, I think, where I fall in with this at the end of the day. Um, so Joe agrees with you, 3.5. Trade paper dad with 3 stars. DJ's booing me. He's probably going to kick me out of the Link squad now because I won't give it more than 2.5. 2.5 is a solid middle, brother. What's wrong with that? 50th percentile. That
Yeah.
means it means it's got a passing grade, barely, but
It was good. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't great, but it was worth the watch. It was entertaining.
I think
It wasn't, it wasn't something we could do like a show on YouTube about.
not for a half hour without repeating ourselves, repeat it over and over again. That's for sure. Um, you can drink from
Mm-hmm.
my water bottle, my flask.
Hey, how about that? What if though?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let's wrap this up with what if. I dug the what if. I've always been a fan of the what if comics, and I think that it's a brilliant way for them to start to introduce the concept of the of
Multiverse.
multiverse. Thank you, to non-hardcore comic fans,
Mm-hmm.
and especially the way that they've introduced it with the concept of the TVA previously in Loki, with some little thing happens and branches it, and all of a sudden it becomes its own thing, and the TVA would have come in there to kapoo it, right? But instead, now here we're starting to see with these what ifs, these things start to go off. So I think that it was a very good start to a series that I have high hopes for it to continue to be good. I have only seen the first episode. I think the second episode is
Comes out tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah.
I watched the trailer right before we hopped on here, and it's like basically what if T'Challa was Star-Lord. That's what I got out of the trailer anyway. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And I don't know. We'll see. Some of every episode's gonna be a hit and miss. When I used to watch or read the what if books back in the 90s, I used to think I think my favorites were generally where they would go completely in a different direction, as opposed to simply take one hero and give him another hero's journey.
Yeah.
I mean, there was always a little bit of that. I mean, when we take a look at this first episode, but I mean, say, oh, hey, this hero is now this hero, but he still has his same power set or whatever. But where you've just
What ifs were great,
we'll
and what would be another good show? I think is Marvel Team Ups. Marvel Team Ups was another good read that was put a couple of your favorite heroes together, and if they're going to do like animated shows like this, I think Marvel Team Up would be a great another idea for a show.
It could be, especially if they would allow it to be something that existed take it outside of the MCU. And that's, I think right now, the thing is right now they're really focused on this connected continuity. But I think there's nothing wrong with having a series like Marvel Team Ups or whatnot. That's just not to use the term Elseworlds because that is a DC term. But whatever, somewhere else in the multiverse, whatever, but I'd like for them to be able to do some stuff that's not necessarily so intricate and tied together that's then going to cause the nerds later on to go, oh, but in that episode
that couldn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a comic book. Actually, anything can happen.
That's right, true believers. All right. I'm sorry, guys. We're actually gonna end on time, if not a little bit early today, because I'm not feeling well. Slot's not feeling well. We're glad that you guys came out to watch two
I'm
guys
happy to
not
see
feel well.
everyone.
Yeah, I mean this is great. Hopefully they bring characters not currently in the MCU. Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be great because there's a good opportunity to introduce some of those characters that um, you
Throw them
know
out there, see if they stick. If people love those characters in the What If, cartoon, maybe bring them into the MCU, make some more money.
exactly. It's I think the delicate dancing act they run into, although it's starting to be cleaned up a little bit by Disney just acquiring everything, is still the issue of properties and who you want to bring in and licensing, et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of various characters that could come up, and it's just a question of can you do a compelling enough story for some of them that people that may not have the same fan bases to care. At some point, you got to be careful of do you oversaturate the what you put the content that's out there to the point where I'm consuming way more Marvel universe stuff than I know about from reading comics, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Eternals don't matter to me. But I'll go see the movie, right? I
For
never
sure.
I never read an Ant-Man other than like maybe him showing up somewhere, but I watch him in the and if they keep introducing too much stuff, is the danger though of also causing people to start to become ambivalent and start to go, oh, it's too much, forget it, I'm walking away. Okay, so Gary has put these guys up to making sure we need to have Conan the Barbarian.
I agree with the one though. I like the What If Conan was in today's world with the gun and stuff on the cover.
Okay,
That was a good issue.
I got Conan 2099 in the garage. Of course I do.
Why wouldn't he?
Conan fighting the Thorites. Anyways, all right. What do you got? Anything going on coming up anytime soon here for us, Jason?
I might be appearing on someone's show on Friday, so
Oh,
I won't say anything or spoil anything. But I might be appearing on Friday somewhere on YouTube.
No, we should say it. The big Joe Man, Anachronic Comics, 400 subscriber giveaway. Now I think I didn't look. Is he over 500 now? Because I know he was really close, and I really
I think
wanted
he
him
was
to
like
be
3 away this morning when I looked.
because I so want him to be at 500 when he's finally doing his 400 giveaway, even if that means that he'll then pass me the following week and be at like 600 in 2 more weeks. But that's okay. Joe is awesome, and he has a
He is
great
great.
channel. Cool. Yeah, that's right. I'm scheduled to make an appearance as well. No, or am I? I don't know. But it's going to be a big
What if
extravaganza.
we are
What if?
scheduled for an appearance?
What if we don't? What if instead Joe decides, you know what, you guys spoiled it, so now you're off the show. Take
Joe
that.
said. We're gonna get a
Well,
text
or
from
Joe's,
Bruno now.
yeah, exactly. Bruno's going to come. He's going to show up at our door with a baseball bat and break our kneecaps and go, "You stupid kids! What are you guys
Think with the
doing?
fishes.
What's with you guys?" Anyways, all right, cool. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Well, you're easy. You're living the easy life. I don't really have much going on this week. I don't think either. Maybe there'll be if a CGC box or a CBCS box arrives, there'll be one of those. Otherwise, it's pretty going to be a light week. As I have trying to recover.
Yep, I hope you feel better, and I hope everyone out there stays healthy. And yep,
Yep, he made 500. Now he's got to give out another prize.
I know, right?
Nothing says you have to give away prizes. It's just something that sometimes we do. Speaking of
Jimmy's
which,
getting close to 1,000, right? We got to bring up the Don and his.
yeah, the Don, that's right. The comic book mafia has been gathered up to pay tribute to the Don, and
DJ's at like 5,000 now. He just hit like 1,000, then he shot right up to 5,000. Now he's like almost 2,000 though.
well, DJ is more like he's less of a Don and more of like one of those minor deities that you like. He's not God, but he's just one of those little small, maybe a patron saint of unboxings. Um, but yeah, Jimmy's got his 1,000 that he's working towards. There's a link to a thread on my channel here. I can't speak. My brain's not functioning right. But it has a link to all bunch of videos that different people did with different giveaways that you got to go through all of them and make sure you watch them and hit hashtag the Dawn and subscribe to everybody. And in my 500 giveaway, if you don't know whether or not you won something or not, check that video. You don't have to watch the whole video. There is a description, has a summary of who won what prizes. You have until this Saturday to claim your prize, or we go to our alternate prize winners.
Oh boy. There it
All right.
is.
So our next show will be the first Tuesday of September, which would be like probably after Labor Day, I think it is.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not looking at a calendar, and my brain no work. My brain no work, no do good.
Brain word, no work.
Exactly. All right, why don't you take us on out of here, buddy?
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like I said, stay healthy, and we will see you in a couple weeks on Sidekicks Talk Comics. Peace.